What a bounce back from an Arsenal team that I began to lose faith in. I began to doubt it. I began to think to myself, we're being found out yet again. PTSD reoccurring again. Going to be runners-up FC. And then we bounce back in the most exciting and exhilarating and exceptional way against them down the road, against Tottenham Hotspur, who look to be fighting relegation. Fingers crossed for that one, because all the math. I know there's Arsenal fans that give it the big end as well. I'm not, I've done it myself, but I mean the I don't know what the word is. Entitlement, the expectation from Spurs fans, really. I don't know. They really think they're better than what they are, and every team have been guilty of it in certain times, certain eras of the Premier League. But Spurs fans always think they're better than what they actually are, and you know what? They got found out severely. They got the new manager. They was expecting to have a new manager bounce and embarrass us and derail our season. I believe if we had lost that game against Spurs, I would have written it off. I said it in the preview. I would have written it off. But I'm over the moon, mate. I'm so happy. And against a team that the only team that I can't accept getting beat by. Do you understand what I'm saying, Arsenal fans? And they think the same about us. They're probably still crying today. 2 days later. I know the reaction is a bit late. There wasn't an immediate reaction over on the Cockney Gooner Shorts channel. I'll link that into the description. Go and check that out. Short form content's going to be over there. I've said it before, this is where I'm going to do my longer versions, although it's not going to be that long. But I'm over the moon. Everyone played all right. Declan Rice made a couple of mistakes. It was his fault, I think, for their equalising goal. Mawani scored it. Was it a dive from Gabriel when for Mawani could have made it 2-2? Let's be real. Possibly, it wasn't a lot in it, but it was 2 hands on the back and the letter of the law, as I keep getting told by every other fan in the internet. It's the letter of the law. So I mean, it swings and roundabouts. Things have gone against us as well as things are going to go for us before and in the future. So you've got to get used to that. And they call it the saying is swings and roundabouts. Did I say that already? I might have said that already, but. Possibly it was a little bit. Sometimes I get embarrassed when things like that happen. When it's your player that dives or it's your player that tries to con the referee, that embarrasses me, and I don't like that from any player. But for me, it's become a tactic now to try and con the referee, to try and win fouls. You put your body across and then go fall forward, or draw the foul, take a little knock and go flying like you've been sniped by a fucking elite rifleman from somewhere. Sometimes it's embarrassing, and some of the diving that's infected the Premier League is, it's just disgraceful. Some of it's tactical, some of it's just, just because they're fucking a load of prima donna pussies. A lot of these footballers, to be fair. But Declan Rice come out in that second. I was speaking about Declan Rice before I went in a different direction. Sorry about that. But Declan Rice in that second half, after saying on that interview, he was being, some people were saying, well, do you talking on the pitch, Declan? He was talking about mentality and being up for the game and all that. But anyway, in that second half, mate, captain's performance. He was brilliant. It was, people say about the transfer fee. Was he worth the 105 million? Today's market, yeah, absolutely. Today, we know it's inflated well above the rate of inflation in terms of the transfer fees. £100 million players, you know, I never thought I'd see that. But we started to see it, didn't we, a little while ago? Players like Coutinho and, you know, I don't know about the rest of Europe, but I'm talking about the Premier League. And then I think that was the start of it all. That Coutinho deal from Liverpool to Barcelona, was it? The highly inflated transfer fees. I mean, you think that when you think that, I think it was 15 million. I think Alan Shearer went to Newcastle from Blackburn. I think was it 15 or was it 950? It was something around. It was silly money. And look how good Shearer was. You know what I mean? Shearer was for me one of the, if not probably the greatest Premier League striker that there's ever been. I know Wayne Rooney's up there, Henry's up there, and Bergkamp, and you know there's a few others, Andy Cole. But I think for me it was Alan Shearer, and you know what I mean. If Alan Shearer was around today, if Declan Rice is worth 100 million, Alan Shearer would be 175 million, 200 million, wouldn't he? Let me know what you think. But Eze getting 2 goals, love scoring against Spurs. I can't believe it. He hasn't been great since that hat-trick at the Emirates against Spurs. He comes on against Spurs, he starts his game. I was a little bit surprised because I heard that Odegaard was fit, and I know how much Arteta likes Martin Odegaard. We all know that, for whatever reason, I don't know. But he starts the game, he gets 2 goals, and Gyökeres gets the other 2. I mean, he's starting to find his feet a little bit. He's starting to prove that that is wrong. I think he's got, how many goals he got this season? I think about 15 goals in all competitions now. Starting to look like not such a bad deal. Not as bad as everybody was thinking it was going to be. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it now. I'm happy. I was actually saying, don't start Gyökeres. Leave him on the bench. Let him be a super sub. And it shows what I know, doesn't it? It does show that sometimes the coaches and the managers, you know, they do know what they're talking about most of the time. But as for Arteta, oh mate, he's got to win. He's got to win something this season for me to be happy to see him for another season. If he wins the Premier League, Champions League, yeah, I'll be happy. I'll be happy for him to stay on for another season, and then start building his legacy. Let him start building his legacy with Arsenal. He's not elite level manager because he's not won anything elite. The FA Cup, fair enough. You know, it's arguably not an elite trophy, but it's the oldest cup competition in the world. It's the most prestigious. For me, it's very important. It's elite for me personally. But, you know, I spoke to people and they say, you mad? You rather win the FA Cup than the Champions League? I say, yeah, I do. I would. But anyway, that's just me. That's my opinion. But if he starts winning Premier Leagues, Champions League, say we'd won the last 3 that we've been runners up for, then you think to yourself, well, maybe he is an elite level manager because he's got the proof, he's got the CV then, isn't he? Hasn't he? So, at the minute, he's not elite. If he wins the title this year, he'd be a step closer, but he won't be elite. He's got to prove it again. Claudio Ranieri won it with Leicester. Is he an elite level manager? Not quite, is he? He's not on Klopp or Guardiola or Ferguson, Wenger, Tony Conte and others. You know, there's so many more managers that you could just say that have won multiple trophies, multiple European Cups and the league titles that are elite. That's how you get it. That's how you get recognised. So for me, he's not elite. To answer a question I was asked, I don't know why I started going off on that again. But anyway, I'm over the moon. I'm happy. Chelsea next at the Emirates on Saturday. I'll be doing a preview on that in a couple of days' time. Be doing my match prediction, who I would play in that game. and I will be thinking about doing a score prediction. I don't like normal predictions because when I do, I normally get it wrong, especially if I say, oh, Arsenal are going to win. Do you know what I mean? So I will do one though, I think, because I'm in a better mood than what I have been over the last few weeks. Them stupid draws, Wolves, Brentford, Forest, for example. You know, if we'd have got them, if we'd have won them games, it would have given us another 6 points, and we're like fucking, you know what I mean? Easy days. But we're making it hard for ourselves. But I am still happy because it was them. That's the main reason. And that's the main reason every Arsenal fan I know would agree with me with it's because it was them and it was at their ground as well, in front of their fans, and how we're being bantered all the time by people like Jamie O'Hara, who's, you know, he's the most recognised Tottenham fan there is. Someone like that is the top Tottenham fan. Anyway, put your comments in the comment section, stick a like on the video, and I'll see you on the next one.